Good day, everyone. How's your vacation? Hoping that everyone is okay. And here we are again, going back to school to study and learning new things. Remember that learning is a continuous process. As long as we live, we don't stop learning. Instead, we will make it a motivation as our way of life. This summer, I'm hoping that everyone is ready for our subject, the CDI 8 with course title Legal Forms. And now we will discuss briefly the overview of our subject matter. Before, this subject was belonging to CLG subject, but under new curriculum, it was separated for several reasons. And what are the reasons why this subject is being separated? One, specific focus. CDI 8 Legal Forms is a specialized course that delves into technical English related to legal forms, administrative issuances, and law enforcement documentation. Number two, comprehensive coverage. By separating CDI 8 legal forms from the broader CLG subject, students can dedicate more time and attention to learning about the said legal forms, administrative issuances, and law enforcement documentation. This separation ensures a comprehensive understanding of legal forms without diluting or weakening the content with other topics covered in the CLG subject. Other reasons is for practical application. Next is clear learning objectives, no? To have a clear learning objectives and to enhance learning experience. Ultimately, the separation of CDI 8 legal forms from the CLG subject in the new curriculum aims to provide students with a specialized and detailed understanding of legal forms and documentation, equipping you students with practical skills and knowledge essential for careers in law enforcement and related fields. Okay, that is the overview of our subject matter. And now we'll go to our learning objectives. At the end of the summer class, you will be able to know the following. No? Number one is you can define legal forms, the importance of legal forms, differentiate, no? Or you will know the different kinds of legal forms, the types of documents. Actually, there are two types of documents, no? The public documents and the private documents. The classification of documents or the legal forms, and then legal forms used in law enforcement, no, like the affidavits, no, the inquest form, complaint in criminal cases, motion for reconsideration, subpoena, summons, warrant of arrest, search warrant, notice of appeal, and some other documents to be employed in legal transaction or judicial proceedings. So, ang lahat naman nito is itatackle natin, no? Isa-isahin natin 'yan, no? At yan mga ah, target natin na objective, yun yung i-compile natin, no? Ah, i-discuss natin yan mamaya, no? Hopefully, hindi tayo kukulangin sa oras. That's why sinasadya ko talaga na gumawa ng ganitong pre-recorded presentation para at least meron kayong ma-review, and in the same way, pwede ko i-advance yung ibang topics. At this time, before finals, no, I want you to make a compilation containing your outputs. Lahat na nabanggit ko kanina should be compiled in a green folder. And then, ang cover page, lagyan nyo lang ng CDI 8 Legal Forms Compilation, compiled by, no, kung sino yung gumawa, write your name sa baba. And don't forget to have a table of contents. And this will be your final compliance. No compilation, no grade considered as failed. Hoping that my instruction is clear. If you have questions, clarifications, kindly ask first your class marcher. Through channel tayo kasi minsan, nag-direct yung iba sa akin, masyadong magulo. At least, isa lang ang bibigyan ko ng instruction at para masanay na rin kayo na ganitong setup. Kasi in Royal McCoy naman, chain of command is very important. So yun ang ipa-follow natin. Kaya kaibiganan nyo na ang mga class marcher ninyo at class marcher naman, huwag lumaki ang ulo. Be patient, be honest, and show your leadership to your classmates. This is your chance practicing your leadership while you are studying. And kayo naman na members, it doesn't mean na hindi kayo magaling. No? Remember, a good follower, no? Someday you'll be a good leader. So, yan lagi ninyo tandaan. There's a cycle of life, no? Minsan, tagasunod kayo, pero pagdating ng araw, ah, sa ayaw at sa gusto ninyo, kayo naman ang magli-lead. So much for that. We will go to our first topic. No, the first topic is the introduction of legal forms. By the way, what is legal forms? So as you can see, dyan sa slide, no, legal forms is an instrument or document to be employed in a legal transaction or a judicial proceeding that includes the primary essential matters, the appropriate technical phrases or terms, and any additional materials required to render it officially accurate, arranged in suitable and systematic order, and conducive to the adaptation to the circumstances of the particular case. This could be in the form of affidavits, sales of personal property, contracts, complaints, etc. Anong ibig sabihin ng definition na yan? Para mas maintindihan natin, himay-himayin natin isa-isa ang mga phrases ng legal forms. And these are the things to remember in legal forms, no? Para madali nating matandaan. Okay. Number one, ang sabi dyan, it is an instrument or document to be employed in a legal transaction or judicial proceedings. Anong napansin niyo dito sa phrase na ito? Ibig sabihin pala, ang legal forms ay isang instruments or document to be employed in legal transaction or legal proceedings. Ang word na ginamit dito, kung napansin niyo, is to be employed, not use ang ginamit. Hindi use ang ginamit, no? Kundi employed. Ano sa palagay ninyo? Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng to be employed in legal transaction or judicial proceedings? To be employed simply means to get involved in that particular situation where your expertise is required because this is about legal transactions or documents that is used in judicial proceedings that only investigators and legal practitioners can understand. This includes activities such as drafting legal documents like affidavits, agreements, contracts, engaging in legal research, representing clients in courts, no? Just like what the lawyers, no, job, no? Ito yung mga ginagawa nila, and any other related legal documents. Ultimately, individuals involved here are lawyers, paralegal, and other law practitioners which includes the law enforcers. No? Naintindihan niyo ba kung ano yung mga paralegal? Yung paralegal, those individuals who work in a law firm. They are also professionals who can draft, no, legal documents but limited to giving legal advice to clients because that is crucial that only lawyers are expert on that matter. The next, ang sabi diyan, legal forms includes the primary essential matters. Ano ba ang essential matters na sinasabi dito? Ang essential matters na sinasabi dito is patungkol po doon sa document mismo as to the contents of that document. The contents are essential or important because hindi lang siya basta document, but the contents of that documents will be used in legal transaction or legal proceedings or judicial proceedings rather. That's why, ang sabi ko kanina, na it requires expertise of individuals who are involved in this kind of work. For example, you are preparing a criminal complaint for the crime of murder. As a drafter, it is essential that all the elements of murder should be included in that particular case or complaint because it might affect the case that you will be presented in court. Baka yan pa ang dahilan na sa fiscal level pa lang, madidismiss na agad ang kaso. Kaya nga, sa CDI 5 subject natin, sinasanay ko na kayo na paano gumawa ng chronological order of events doon sa kaso na piniprepare natin kasi ang pagdraft ng affidavit ay parang ganun din. You are narrating what had happened on that particular incident. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng primary essential matters na sinasabi dito no, sa legal forms. Then third, no, kung mababasa nyo dyan sa slide, the appropriate phrase and terms and any additional materials required to render it official accurate. Yes, it is very important that all the contents you included, for example, the affidavit or sworn statement will be accurate. Why? Kasi ang pagsisinungaling, lalong-lalo na under oath, ay isang krimen na kung saan pwede kayong makulong at may kaakibat na multa o damages doon sa aggrieved party. What crime I'm trying to point out here? I'm trying to point out the crime of perjury. No? We will discuss it later. Focus muna tayo dito sa definition ng legal forms para hindi tayo mawawala. At least mayroon kayong idea na once under oath, nagsisinungaling kayo, pwede kayong makasuhan ng perjury. Tandaan nyo yan, okay? Baka lalabas yan sa ating mga pasulit. Ano-ano ba ang, balik tayo dito sa topic natin, ano-ano ba ang appropriate phrase and terms na sinasabi dito? Ito po ay patungkol sa mga phrases and terms na ginagamit sa isang dokumento o documents na kung saan ito ay ukma or aligned to the documents that you are preparing. Aside from that, technically, ang gumagawa nito hindi lang expert sa batas, but also has a skill in technical English writing. Kaya itong legal forms will not only tackle the different kinds of forms, the templates that are used in legal transactions or judicial proceedings, but i-review din natin ang basic English natin. Because the medium communication that we'll be using here is English, especially in court. Anyway, meron naman kayong handbook doon sa CDI 5 na subject natin before. Yung iba hindi pa nakuha, but paki-follow up na lang doon sa tagagawa kasi alam ko, tapos na lahat yun. Magagamit niyo pa rin yun sa subject na ito as guide. Ano ba ang additional materials na sinasabi dito? Okay? Ano bang mga additional materials na sinasabi dito? The additional materials simply refer to the evidence, no? You included when you are preparing a complaint, no? Dapat tingnan mo kung ito ba ay substantial doon sa case na piniprepare mo. Kasi kung hindi naman, huwag mo na i-mention kasi baka yun po ang makitaan ng butas ng taga-defense, no? At mahirapan kayong i-defend at ma-weaken pa ang kaso na hinahandle ninyo. Dapat maging clever ka sa lahat ng bagay, no? Lalo pag ikaw yung investigador. Kasi nga, pag hindi ka clever, pwede kang balikan, no? No? Parang laro lang yan ng bilyar, no? No, bago ka tumira sa kasunod, no? Dapat may preparation ka doon sa next na titirahin mo kasi pag wala, talagang uupo ka na lang. At iiyak dahil aangkinin na siya ng iba. Ay mali pala. Pinapatawa ko lang kayo. But in reality, dapat talaga clever ang isang investigator o ang gumagawa ng ganitong bagay. Kasi pag hindi, pwede mabaliktad ang situation. No? Instead na ikaw ang magpakulong, ikaw pa ngayon ang makulong. Then, it must be arranged in suitable and systematic order. Dapat ba talaga? Yes, of course. Ang legal forms na yan, yung especially the documents, hindi lang ikaw ang nagbabasa niyan, no? Hindi lang ikaw ang magkakaroon ng copy, no? Remember, the documents, no, will be submitted to court. Yeah? And whether you are the complainant or suspect, ay talagang magkakaroon ka ng copy niyan. Ngayon, being professional, nakakaya naman na ang piniprepare mo na documents ay nagka-interchange yung important events doon sa narration mo, no? At minsan, especially in taking custody of a person or arrest, no? During making an affidavit of arrest, no? Taking affidavit of arrest, no? Hindi mo pwede na i-mention mo doon na kinulong mo muna, no, yung suspect without informing first, no, his or her right, no, or the Miranda doctrine. For sure, pag hindi mo na mention 'yon sa affidavit mo, no, technically, no, madi-dismiss ang kaso, no, madi-dismiss ang kaso. So, yan po ang basic example why we need to arrange in suitable and systematic order, at marami pang ibang reasons, no. Madi-discover nyo yan mismo pag kayo na talaga ang gumagawa. Then, number 5, no, things to remember, no, sa legal forms. Ito, no, conducive to adaptation to circumstances of the particular case. Ito na ang sinasabi ko kanina na dapat kung ano yung ginagawa mong documents, dapat align siya doon sa case na piniprepare mo. For example, may lumapit sa iyo na client, gusto niyang mag-file ng complaint for the crime of robbery. So dapat all the elements of robbery should be written in the affidavit, no, that you are preparing. Kasi nga kung hindi mo na-mention ang force upon things and intimidation dito sa case na to, for sure bababa sa theft ang kaso. And it will not adapt to the circumstances of the particular case you are preparing. And it will not be conducive or favorable to the complainant. Kasi nga, though robbery ang case na nilagay mo sa charge sheet mo, but the elements of robbery were not present. Pag i-resolve ng piskal yan, matik yan, no? Magiging theft lang ang kaso. Ang masaklap pa, kahit good yung intention mo, dahil nga may kunting mali, baka pagdudahan ka pa na baka kaibigan mo ang suspect o tumatanggap ka ng pera from them para maibaba ang kaso into theft, no? So, yun ang mangyayari. Kaya talagang maingat kayo doon sa mga elements ng kaso na piniprepare nyo. Kaya masilan talaga ang mga bagay na ito. Kaya nga sa mga police station, no, kahit magtanong siguro kayo, based on my observation, bihira lang talaga ang tumatanggap ng ganitong responsibility na magiging isang investigador sa isang police station. Biroon mo, ikaw pa naghirap, no? Ikaw ang kasi walang tulugan to pag lalo pag inquest case ang piniprepare mo kasi nga may oras na hinahabol. At saka may ano kasi hindi sila tumatanggap yung iba kasi iniisip nila there's a possibility na pag nagkamali ka, pwede kang makulong, mapag-initan, mapagdudahan, at kung ano-ano pa. But class, as long as tama lang ang ginagawa mo, no? It is aligned, no? Doon sa standard ng society, no? Na hindi ka gumagawa ng kabulastugan, no? Hindi ka tumatanggap ng suhol na kahit kanino, no? As long as may pananampalataya tayo sa Diyos na lumikha natin, hindi naman tayo mapapariwara. Bagkos, lagi tayong iniingatan. Yun po ang ibig sabihin sa phrase na ito, no? Masyadong mahaba ng explanation ko, sana kahit kunti naintindihan nyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng legal forms, no? Again, if you have questions or clarification, no, itanong nyo lang kay Class Marcher. Kayang-kaya na yan ni Class Marcher. Ay, sa akin pala, no? Sa akin pala. Gulat si Class Marcher siguro. So, PM nyo lang ako, subukan natin sagutin, no? Di po tayo magaling, katulad nyo rin po ako na continuous pa rin ang pag-aaral, no? Ika nga, sabi ko nga kanina na ang learning is a continuous process. Every day is a learning process, no? Kaya nga nag-aaral pa rin ako kasi gusto ko talaga na mayroon akong kung ano yung natutunan ko, no, may impart ko rin sa inyo yung knowledge na na-acquire ko patungkol po dito sa subject natin. Okay? Next is punta tayo dito sa important guidelines in legal forms, no. Ano ba yung mga important guidelines in legal forms? No. So ito na 'yon. Okay, number 1, the language used in most legal forms is English. No? Yes, na-mention ko na kanina that the medium communication to be used most especially in court is English. Kaya need talaga ninyo i-review ang basic English ninyo, especially the subject-verb agreement. Kasi napaka-importante po talaga na tama ang mga grammar natin. Kasi nga, legal documents ang piniprepare natin. Okay? So, second, no, important guidelines and legal forms. No? Ang sabi diyan, correct choice of word. The words used must be simple and appropriate. No? Observe correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation marks. So, sa CDF subject natin, sa CDF 5 subject natin, natakil natin ang prerequisite ng good report, no? Parang ganun din 'yon, no? Plus idagdag nyo lang ito, no? The correct choice of words, no? Uh, the words used must be simple lang and appropriate talaga. Simple lang. Do not use words na kailangan pa ng dictionary, no? Para tawag dito, para maintindihan natin kung anong ibig sabihin doon. So hindi po ganoon, no? Yung ano lang, yung madali nating maintindihan na mga words, yun po ang ilagay natin, no? Then observe correct grammar, spelling and punctuation marks. Okay? So thirdly, important guidelines ng legal forms, no? So dito, na-mention ulit ang subject-verb agreement. No? Paulit-ulit talaga itong subject-verb agreement. Kasi nga, English kasi. Pinoy kasi, mahilig talaga mag-English. Kaya sa ayaw, sa gusto natin, no, talagang ipipilit talaga natin na pag-aralan itong subject-verb agreement. Napaka-importante talaga ng grammatically correct ang gagawin natin, especially dun sa documents na prepare. Kasi nakakahiya naman na professional tayo plus legal documents ginagawa natin din kahit sa simpleng paggamit ng is, are, where, has, have, had ay hindi natin alam gamitin. So that's all for the introduction of legal forms, no? So para may gagawin kayo, no, magbibigay ako ng assignment, no. Simple lang yung assignment niyo, no. Paki-take note na lang, kumuha ng ballpen at papel, no. Kasi hindi ko na isali doon sa dito sa slide natin, no. Pero kung ano, i-review na lang yung ano sasabihin ko dito, no. Okay, kung mayroon ng ballpen at papel, pakisulat na lang, no. So ang assignment niyo, no, you will conduct research, no. O mag-research kayo, no. Definition of terms pa rin, no? Because this will be our next topic, no? Okay, pakisulat. Number 1, what is document? Again, number 1, what is document? Number 2, the different types of documents. Number 3, what is notarization? Ang ilan na? 1, 2, 3. Number 4, importance of notarization. And 5, individuals who can perform notarial act. So, yun lang, no? Yun lang ang assignment niyo, pag-aralan niyo, and maybe pag vacant time ko next, no? Magkakaroon tayo ng pasulit, no? Dapat handa kayo, no? Dapat marunong na talaga kayong mag-refine what is legal forms kasi isa-isa natin kanina. And so, kung mayroong tanong kayo, so i-PM nyo lang ako, no? Kung mayroong kayong tanong, para masagot natin. So, class, thank you so much and more power.